the 19th, and it is, what, the 30th? So this is from 11 days ago. The problem is still nobody to go in with me, nobody to call with me. There's the people that are involved in a lot of other situations that haven't come forward, so asking them is not useful. It says, please continue to follow up with local resources, Tides of Change, CARE, Helping Hands, or local sites that may be able to provide advocates. I'm broke. All right, there's a lot in here, a lot of places I've been, a lot of places I've called. These are the places I'm trying to turn in. All three of these places. Helping Hands has done some pretty horrible things to some very at-risk adults. And it's not okay. It's not okay to throw those people out on the streets. It says, more importantly, I will send a referral to TFCC for counseling as well as for advocacy. If you're feeling suicidal, have a plan, please seek care at our local ER. Here's the thing, if you feel that way, don't go to places that are going to make you feel that way even more. If your friends make you want to blow your head off after talking to them, just don't talk to them. Get rid of them. Give them the chance to leave on their own, however. That way you can have at least some, well, I was going to say some respect for them, but that's not the case. You can at least pretend to respect one of the things that they did. It says, you're not alone. There is good support in the community. Ah, you mean like the Scudders? You mean like Tides of Change, who only helps women? How about CARE? They don't do that. These aren't advocacy agencies. They just pretend to be. How much support were the Scudders in turning in the crimes committed against me? They were useless. It says, please continue to locate the time within each video for hard evidence required by the police to file an investigation. Now, I do need to stop and explain to you that Miss Scudder, Kara, she did go with me to some appointments, and thank goodness, and I do have them recorded. I also have it recorded how I was treated the next time I went in, because I had to go in alone. She did go to an appointment with me, but it wasn't for turning in any of my predators. It wasn't for turning in the crimes that her and her family were there for. We're going to go through all this paperwork in a little bit. We're going to go through what should have been done. Now, why is it that they gave me the paperwork for elder abuse? Yeah. This one right here is the important one. This is the one that I went to all of my friends about before Natalie was killed. If you are a friend or a family member or a friend, see, this is how can it be prevented? Preventative measures. The help that I was asking for was help preventing this abuse from happening to begin with. I already knew that the police would abuse me. How they treat the homeless nationwide is abhorrent. It says try to see the person regularly. Nobody did that. Frequent visits will help you determine if the person shows signs of abuse or neglect. Well, I've got evidence of abuse and neglect. I've been trying to show you in person, but of course you can't even call. All these folks want to say, oh, well, why would I call when you're just going to record me? I'm just going to record you because I have to. I have to because look at all of the situations where I believed people. Believed people. Because I had to. I wanted to believe that Kayla Trujillo was actually a friend who actually cared. I wanted to believe her. I should have recorded everything. And if I'd have had the ability, I probably would have. I record everything I possibly can. It says, get to know the staff who are taking care of the person. Yeah, y'all didn't do that. You just wanted to believe whatever they said. You wanted to believe whatever Waylon Lolatai and his cronies said. And then Waylon Lolatai assaulted no less than 6 other individuals after assaulting me on camera, mind you. You didn't get to know that, did you? You didn't get to find out about Clint in the Boulder County Jail or his history of helping cover up rapes in Boulder County, including the rape against Teresa Macelia. But you wouldn't know nothing about that, would you? It says express any concerns you may have right away. That means stop being the peanut gallery, telling me over and over and over again, these are my concerns too. We need to come forward about them. We. Not just me. You allowed them. If you want to call me a family or friend, and you didn't do these things. You are not either one. You are not a family member or a friend. Express any concerns you may have right away. Keep notes of the conversations. How many of you did that? None. Brandon Ratner claimed, after I had to beg him to call them and tell them the truth, he claimed that he did. He's got no notes, doesn't know who he talked to, doesn't know the department, doesn't know anything. It says take pictures if there are signs of abuse or health standards. I have done that, and you won't even look. Not even if I send it to you. You'll do it. What's that lady's name? Mandy Hughes did. Telling me she looks at everything I send her and then letting me know 6 months down the road that she didn't take a look at any of it. Oh no, Sean, I haven't looked at any of that. All I have is my phone. Well, you said you were looking at it as I was sending it to you. Huh. It says offer to accompany the person to medical appointments, financial institutions, and other important meetings. These are exactly the things that I have been asking you for. Please don't make me do it alone. Especially here in the United States, where our government has a history of literally murdering the disabled and the homeless, especially males. By the way, if you count a method of homicide called exposure to the elements, you'll get to see on my video about the missing women of Hardin, Montana, how I spoke about that, and about how they kill the homeless the same way. And then Selena Not Afraid was murdered by exposure to the elements. If you are an older person, remain active, avoid isolation, and cultivate a strong support network of family and friends. I thought I had that, but all it takes is one lie, and everybody runs for the hills, makes any excuse to do nothing. I try to remain active as much as I can. says avoid isolation. I am being isolated. I am socially isolated because I am a homeless person. I am socially isolated because I am in a new place. I am socially isolated because I'm having to deal with dynamics where people have been friends with some of my predators in this town for years. Yeah, they know what's done to me is wrong, but they don't want to turn in their friend. It says, and cultivate strong support network. Oh, you mean people who ignore me or expect me to type everything to them, knowing that they're taking everything that I type wrong? Why won't you listen? Why won't you call and listen? For almost 2 years before Natalie was killed, I did not record our conversations with me and my friends. I didn't think I needed to. But I did. I needed to record every single time that I went to them, and you know what? Here's the thing. I did make record of it. I did write it down. I typed in my Facebook what was going on. Write it down. Keep notes of the conversations. My notes are on Facebook. A lot of people tried to destroy them. I had to try to get help somehow. Reaching out to my family and friends resulted in me getting talked over. Them telling me all the things that literally push people to commit suicide. And I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with these people? When folks talk to them that way, they get horribly irate. Be active in taking care of your health problems. Do what you can to remain healthy. Avoid signing documents or transferring money or property to anyone without first getting legal advice. Ask for professional help right away if you need help managing your healthcare, daily living, or finances. I have been for 7 years. 7 years, folks. Said, assert your right to be treated with respect and dignity. What does that result in? Me being victimized. It results in the Department of Health and Human Services threatening, harassing, and intimidating me. When I go to them about the abuse, I have to record it every time. When they choose to try to victimize an innocent person, they don't even look at the situation that I'm in. They don't look at what I'm living through, which is one of the first things that they're supposed to do. Ask a family member or friend you trust to represent you as power of attorney in case you need this. Refuse to allow anyone who you do not choose to become involved in your financial affairs. That's the thing. I didn't have anyone to trust, and nobody cared. I even tried making Rose M. Kelly my power of attorney. The Jepsons could verify that, but it was years ago, and they really, truly, and honestly didn't pay any attention. And that is sad. This is outline your wishes with advance directives or a living will for medical decisions. I have tried repeatedly. If I die, do not bring me back. Leave me dead. Do not bring me back to be abused again and again and again, to be neglected by my friends and family, to be abused by everyone else. What are the treatments for someone who is abused or neglected? Treatment depends on the type of abuse or neglect. It may include medical treatment for any injuries, being seen by a healthcare provider if there are memory problems or dementia, support groups or mental health counseling if the older person seems lonely, anxious, or depressed, financial guidance to help manage money or property. It says, what should I do if I think someone is being abused or neglected? You're supposed to call Adult Protective Services or any healthcare provider, the police, or an ombudsman. When I do it myself, I get blown off. This is their protocol. That's why we need these right here. Family member or friend. Natalie Bollinger is dead for a reason. Says, oh, right here, Medicaid and Medicare fraud units. These teams check into cases of health, medical, and financial abuse or neglect. I've tried this. I don't have any assistance. I don't have the ability. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. You guys say, oh, you got plenty of time. I don't have any money to go anywhere that I can do anything with this. All right, so yes, I have plenty of time, but I don't have the resources to do any of this. I don't have a person in person to help me with this. That's why it is 11 days later and I've been arguing with a German about doing what's on this paperwork. Can we do what's on the paperwork? Can we try what is on the paperwork? Can we try it not alone this time? Can we try not making Sean go through this by himself for once? It says keep trusted individuals involved in your life. Well, who do I trust? Nobody. There's nobody I can trust. Everybody I know is either a drug addict, an alcoholic, a child abuser, a rapist, or a druggie. Everybody that I know has skeletons in their closet that they are too afraid of judgment because of. They are too afraid to even use their voices for things that they were there for because they don't want it being brought up in court that they're drug addicts or alcoholics. Well, guess what? So is the opposition. How many people through this are not drug addicts or alcoholics? That would be Sean Schwartz. And let's see. Oh yeah, Sean Schwartz. Who is it that has not touched alcohol in all this time? That's right, it is Sean David Schwartz. It says stay connected with legal experts who can help guide you in times of uncertainty. The legal experts told me that they can't do anything unless I got some of these things right here. Family member or a friend. Family member or a friend. Family member or a friend. So, we got ourselves a situation as a catch-22, ain't it? Stay connected with legal experts who can help guide you in times of uncertainty. I don't have one. I don't have one. I don't have any money to hire one. I don't have the money to feed myself, people. I am constantly on a scramble for food, water, and shelter. And this right here is my shelter. So I have to keep it gassed, which means I got to find that in order to get food, water, and shelter. And keep and maintain food, water, and shelter. It says keep all follow-up visits. This is important. Yes, exactly. Keep the follow-up visits. Who's doing that? Nobody. Just me trying. It says this is important. This is important. It says let's see. Where can I get more information? And it's got all the stuff on the National Center for Elder Abuse. Meanwhile, this is neglect here because they should have given me the one on abuse against the disabled. That's not what they sent. But this is close enough. No, it's not. Because what it doesn't tell you is that if it's someone who is disabled, you're supposed to call a mental health unit. That's right. If they're being abused, you're supposed to call a nuthatch, a funny farm, a crazy house. So, of course, the fact that they posted this stuff instead, well, that's just sad and pathetic. It says get help right away if you or someone you know is being physically abused, being verbally or emotionally abused, having food or water withheld for long periods of time, showing signs of not being fed, not receiving needed medical care. How about all of those? How about all of those? It says if you believe that you or someone you know is in immediate danger, call your local emergency services. If I call them alone, the way that I get treated is horrible. There's even more to this. Like I said, they're sending me to the places I'm trying to turn in. They're trying to send me to Tides of Change, who I need to turn in. Care, who I need to turn in. Helping Hands, who I need to turn in. No matter what, it's alone. Always alone. Always alone. Being talked over, being told how I need to think, told how I need to feel. Unsolicited advice. Over and over again. You saw a pretty meme this morning, so it's a good time for you to use it instead of listening. You tell me about all of your problems. All of your problems, and then you tell me I need to listen to you. I've heard all of your problems and you haven't heard mine. You haven't bothered to look at the evidence. I've been posting up evidence for 6 years, hoping that somebody actually cares. Actually cares. You tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, these things that I've been saying since before I ever met Natalie Bollinger, so you know. This stuff here. This stuff right here. This stuff right here. You see all of this? Friends and family members. That right there. Right there. All of that right there. What does it result in? What does it result in? When you don't do those things. What does it do to people? Viridia, thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.